I'm sorry for in my life. You know, it's a complicated story. It has to do with the fact where I was at the time in my life. It has to do with the fact where the band was at that time in its existence, and for like a certain time, for a couple of weeks, couple of months, but crucial months, of course. Things just weren't working out. You know, things just weren't like on the same level. You know?
Right. And
that's to put it easy.
Yeah, but I need to set this also straight. As everything with Celtic Frost, it's not quite that simple. Tomega Theron was conceived together with Martin. The artwork, the design was conceived together with Martin. Most of the songs were written together with Martin. After recordings with a session bass player, we went back to the studio and re-recorded the bass with Martin for 3 songs, which are included on the reissues. The album is very much Martin. The fact that he doesn't play on it is something I hate to this day.
Right.
But the album was written with Martin. The lyrics are by Martin. I mean, everything on this album bears Martin's stamp.
But it didn't do the original recording.
Right. Exactly. But it's not as simple.
Tragic Serenades EP afterwards. That's of course where the 3 songs were published the first time. You know, we re-recorded that, and because Tom and Reed were really not that pleased with the outcome of the production. You know,
the bass playing.
Do you still talk to like Reed St. Mark or Steve Priestley or?
Reed St. Mark, very much so. He's a very good friend of ours, and he's coming yet again to the shows we play in New York. He's been to several shows in the last tour.
And was Steve Priestley an original member of Hellhammer?
No. No, he was a member of Hellhammer for maybe a month in the latter stage of Hellhammer, but he wasn't an original member. No.
Oh, okay. Because you've had a lot of different musicians yet.
He knows who we had.
In Hellhammer? There was like a million lineups in Hellhammer. There was like 10 or so lineups. It'll all be documented in the book that's going to come out.
Oh, you have another book coming out?
Martin and I are working on the Hellhammer book, and we hope to be finished with it by the end of this year. It's the mother of all Hellhammer books. It's going to be a coffee table sized book with hundreds of unreleased photos, artwork, the detailed history of Hellhammer, also in the context of the time, the heavy metal revolution at the time, the birth of extreme metal. It's also the bigger picture of the whole thing.
Well, you guys I credit you guys with almost, I would say, coining the term death metal. I don't know anybody that was heavier than you guys.
We were part of that, yeah. But, you know, I don't think we deserve the credit in any of these things alone.
I have proof.
You know.
Oh, God.
This is the first thing I ever had that was called death metal, and
this logo was taken from a fanzine Martin and I had called Death Metal, which we gave to the record company and told them to use that logo because this album was supposed to be called Black Mass.
Oh, okay.
And we looked at the bands and we're like, none of those bands are
they're not
black metal or satanic.
Not
so
at all, right.
We said, change it at least